Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. This is going to be a special, general, I don't know. This is a message for those who are dealing with Geminis, but you're not currently in communication with the Gemini, okay? First of all, welcome to my channel. If you are a first-time viewer, thank you for stopping in. If you're a returning viewer or you viewed other content of mine, maybe you're a subscriber, whatever your status is, if you've seen me before, welcome back. I've decided, been guided, have felt compelled and thrusted to do sort of I don't know if it'll be a continual series, but it's something that I was inspired to do over the past week, and it really came to a head today. To do readings for people that are not in communication with specific signs, okay? So here we are. If you're dealing with a Gemini, this is for you. Specifically, again, a Gemini you are not in communication with. No talking, no texting, no Skyping, no letter writing, no, skywriting with an airplane, nothing, okay? Absolutely no contact with a Gemini right now. If you are looking to see what Gemini would say to you if there was communication, this is the reading for you, okay? So yeah, I was guided to do this. I rolled my zodiac dice to see the order, or at least the signs I was going to start this potential series with, and it came up to be Scorpio, Gemini, Cancer, and Taurus. So Gemini, you're the second one that came out in the dice. And so here we are, okay? There will be a timestamp in the description box if you want to skip ahead, because I will shuffle on camera for this particular reading. So you can go ahead and skip ahead if you want to do that. Anything else? Oh yeah, like, share, subscribe, and comment if this reading resonates with you, if you like the content here and all that good stuff, all right? So again, for those who are not in communication with Gemini, I'm going to lay out 3 cards on both sides. So on the bottom right, you will see 3 cards for what Gemini would say to you if the communication lines were open or if they ever step forward to talk to you. On the top left, or excuse me, on the top right-hand side, top left, that's a shame. On the top right-hand side, you're going to see what you would share with Gemini, again, if those channels of communication opened up, or if you decided to step forward, and you will have a shared communal energy in the center, which I will read. So you're going to have 3 perspectives, or at least 3 energy perspectives of what's going on between you and Gemini, okay? And Gemini, if you're cross-watching sort of kind of for yourself, maybe you'll get some confirmation through this reading as well, okay? All right, so let's see. Give me 3 cards for what Gemini would say to the viewer if the lines of communication were open, or if Gemini were to step forward. Give me 3 cards for what Gemini would say to the viewer, please. 3 cards, please. Ooh, wow. That kind of balanced on its side there for 2 seconds. That was amazing. First card. 2 more, please. Second. 1 more, please. Third. Okay. These are smaller, so now my layout is going to be wonkier than what I did for the Scorpio reading. All right, and 3 cards for what the viewer would want to say to Gemini if the lines of communication were open. One. 2. Oh, 2 together. Which way? Like that? Boom. Perfect. And guys, again, if you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, do all that fun stuff. And I didn't say my normal spiel. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well in the collective. There's no bottom of the deck energy. If I need to clarify, I will do in this video. And I did do an oracle for Scorpio. I'm not sure if that's going to be actually a part of all the readings, but if I'm led to do it at the end, I will do it at the end as well, okay? 1 card came face down on Gemini's side, okay? And let's get into it. All right, so if you're not in communication right now with a Gemini, what they would want to say to you is, collectively, the Fool, King of Cups, all right, and the 3 of Swords. Okay, so, viewer, Gemini to you would basically say, maybe, they've been a fool. Fool card, Major Arcana, Secondary Major Arcana. Oh Lord, I'm about to It's about to leave my mind. Come on, come on, come on, brain. Aquarius, thank you. Secondary major arcana card for Aquarius. There might be an Aquarius in the mix. You might be an Aquarius, but it's so general. It's so collective energy. It really doesn't matter in the long run. But I feel as though this Fool card, based on what the Gemini would want to say to you, is that maybe they had their head in the clouds. You know, this guy, he's standing on a cliffside, and there aren't any clouds, but he's got his eye fixed on that butterfly there. So Gemini may have had, you know, their dreamer goggles on or something like that. Like they're showing somebody who had like a lot of ideas, a lot of dreams and aspirations. And really the Fool card innately is driven towards new beginnings, towards new horizons, towards adventure, all that kind of stuff. So basically, if you're not in communication with a Gemini right now, it's because they feel that they had to go off and explore their options. In some cases, maybe that applies to you if you guys were partners, or maybe your exes, or maybe your current partners, but they've ghosted you or whatever. I don't know why you have no communication. That's not the goal of this reading. It's to get the message that they want to send to you while there is no communication. And basically, the first part of the message is I had to do my own thing. I had to walk my own path. I have to see what else is out there for me. I have to, like I said, explore my options. So if that's romantic and that hurts you, I'm sorry. And they might be, I don't know if they're sorry. I'm not gonna put those words in their mouth, but there is this tendency, but what I wanted to say was there's this tending to the self, but slip of my tongue, but maybe also a message from my guides, is the tendency for this Gemini that you might be dealing with is to prioritize the self and really maybe act impulsively, maybe act selfishly, and really like just constantly rolling the dice. Like I feel that this Gemini is quite adventurous. They're quite maybe a daredevil, or just somebody who has a lust for life. And really a lot of traveling is here with this particular Fool card, because you've got all these different animals, right? You've got alligator or crocodile, you've got a tiger there, you've got the butterfly, and you know, it's a combination of both land and sea. So this is maybe in some of your cases a world traveling Gemini, somebody who really doesn't put down roots, or just somebody who is touch and go out of your life. And when they're in town, you guys are bosom buddies, you guys get along, you guys have an amazing connection potentially, or you just have fun times together. But when they leave the city, leave the state, leave the country, it's just like you never hear from them. And so their message to you is, I'm kind of fun and fancy free right now in my life, or at least that's a priority, or something that they have to do. Like again, a tendency, or they're tending to put that priority at the front, okay? The second part of their message is Knight of Cups. Water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You might be a water sign. Again, there might be another water sign, but it really doesn't matter in this general, very general collective reading, okay? Oh, excuse me, did I say Knight of Cups or did I say King of Cups? I'm sorry, King of Cups. If I said Knight, I apologize. King of Cups. I probably said Knight because I saw the horse. King of Cups. So there's a tendency for this person to hide their emotions from you, because the Fool is going that way to the left, and the Knight of Cups, or excuse me, King of Cups is going to the right. So there's a separation of emotions here. This person might want to tell you that in terms of how they feel in the situation, it's all shadowy. Maybe they don't even know. Maybe they have like no real way to tell you what they feel, you know, because the King of Cups often, as much as he can be aware of and can articulate what he feels, the King of Cups also is not a big talker. Stoic, a lot of ways, like most of the kings, very stoic, right? So there's this guarded nature, even if there is a mountain, not a mountain, but an ocean full of emotions within the Gemini or on their side of things, their expression of that is probably not happening. He's under moonlight, so it's a secret, it's shadowy. Possibly it's something that the Gemini struggles with, because you do have, again, under the moonlight, but then look at the water underneath the horse's legs there, right? It's very choppy, it's very tumultuous, it's very stirred up. So it could be that this Gemini if they ghosted you, they may have ghosted you if they've, for whatever reason. You could be ghosted by a friend. It doesn't have to be romantic, right? Or you could be ghosted by someone who you're related to. It really doesn't matter. But if they did ghost you with that Fool energy, like took off under the cover of night maybe, they may have done it because their emotions got the better of them. It became too much for them to handle, to be with you or talk to you or hang out with you or, you know, spend quality time with you. And so they just like nixed it. They just like chopped it off. Because all kings have that potential to chop off, to annex, right? They have the ability to shut it down. All kings, and queens too, but definitely kings for sure. They have the ability to say no more. Then they leave the situation how it is, or they make definitive actions or definitive changes, okay? I think they would also say that they had a good time, or maybe that's all they wanted was a good time. You know, nothing more, nothing less. Just a good time. Like these in combination, like a thrill seeker. But because it's a King of Cups and not a King of Wands, from an emotional standpoint. So that might be why you're like watching this video. You know, I had a great connection with Gemini. I thought we were building on something. I thought we were best friends. And then all of a sudden he or she just stepped out of my life. You know, in that moment, contextually, with these two cards together, in that moment, that is all the Gemini wanted, was to have a good time that day, that week, that month, that year. Now that that time has expired, or now that they have been fulfilled, they got what they needed, basically, there's just this detachment. Absolutely. With the final card, oh my God. I'm like, why am I being led to detachment? Three of Swords is the final part of their message to you, viewer. Man. They're thinking about it. I mean, look at this guy or girl. It doesn't really matter. Floating up on a cloud, thinking about that heart pierced with 3 swords. So in some of your cases, this was a third-party situation. And if you are familiar with my channel, I don't normally say that, but that's for my generals and my mids. That's when I normally say that. This is specifically for somebody that you don't communicate with, right? And so part of that reason for not communicating is because there was more than just the two of us in the situation. There was more than just you and me vibing together. There was more to the story than you knew. And so if they could, if they wanted to, if they were brave enough, if they had the opportunity, they would tell you that what you guys had together was fun. Again, romantic, family, friends, it really doesn't matter. But what you had together was fun. But in the end, it was going to lead to, or did lead to heartache, did lead to heartbreak, did lead to some type of third-party situation, which, as the card says, right above it, sorrow. Oh God, is it even focusing? Probably not. Focus, you bastard. No, it won't focus. Anyway, trust me. Maybe from there you can see it, but the word at the top is sorrow. So, are they sorry? Probably. And I said I wouldn't put that word in their mouth, so I'm going to take that back. Some of them might be sorry. Some of them, in combination, they know this is, I said that word, tendency. They know that this is how they are. They are a rolling stone. They're not somebody to lay down roots. They're not somebody to get overly involved. And when it gets heavy, when the waters of emotion start to churn and become overpowering, they bolt. They jet. Okay, they bounce right on out. They chuck a deuce and say, it was nice knowing you. So this Gemini, if they were to speak to you, they would let you know they had a great time. I think that they value you, or they valued the experience, but that was it. It was an experience because, again, that's what the Fool is after, experience, the adventure of the thing. Okay? Now, what would you tell Gemini if you guys were in communication? Strength card, Major Arcana for Leo. You might be a Leo, but you don't have to be. Obviously, you know your own sign. Or there might be a Leo in the whole context of the thing, but it really doesn't matter. This is a general collective, right? So you would tell Gemini, well, I'm strong anyway, baby. You know? I think that you would tell Gemini, wow, that's interesting. Hold on. Look at that. Okay, so you're strong, but look at the difference here, or look at the artwork. So in Gemini's Fool card, their first card, they're looking up at that butterfly. In the Strength card, that wolf is howling at a butterfly. Almost the same exact insect. At least they look very similar. And again, if it's not focusing, I do apologize. So there's this thing where, oh, got it. There's this thing where Gemini is focused on their butterfly and they're going after it. Like I sense motion with the Fool here. Here, the person in the card, you viewer, you're sitting on the back of that wolf and the wolf is howling towards the butterfly. So there's this, in some of you, even though you're strong, I feel that you're also kind of aching for Gemini. You're missing them, or you're missing the time that you spent with them, the camaraderie, the experience, the sex, the connection, whatever it is. And this is like melancholy to me, because I'm not going to ignore the word strength, and I'm not going to ignore the archetype of what the strength card embodies, which is to face adversity, which is to weather the storm, or to conquer some type of inner demon, or conquer some type of difficult energy, especially one that resides within yourself. I'm not going to ignore that. I think that's all true. But the artwork of this card for you, viewer, is showing that you are missing this person. You are missing this Gemini. That's why it's strength. It might look like, because again, if you're not talking to people, if you're not texting, Skyping, phone call, nothing, if you're not directly communicating, there might be this image on social media, through common friends that you both share, that you, viewer, you're okay, you're strong, your head is held up high, right? So Gemini could be looking at your Instagram, looking at your Facebook story, doing whatever, and it looks like you're living your best life. And I'm not trying to say you're not. I'm not trying to call you out and say you're not. But you certainly give off the appearance of everything is fine. Internally, emotionally, with that very huge moon in the background, right? Not so much. You might be a little lovelorn. You might be a little flustered. Or you might get emotional when you think of Gemini. So you would tell them, yeah, I'm fine. Because again, first thing I said when I picked up that card was, I'm strong, baby. Which I think you are. Your life is not falling apart because you're not talking to this person. But if you had it your way, you would much prefer to reconnect with them, or at least still be in communication with them, or still have something with them, okay? Your second part of your message towards Gemini would be the Five of Wands. So you might currently be fighting about this connection with Gemini, or you might be willing to fight for that connection, or for, you guys sharing something together. But this is more, I think, you've got other things on your plate, viewer. I don't think your life, thank you, your life does not revolve around this Gemini or the connection you guys share. You ultimately have other things in your life that call your attention away. You might, again, like I feel it's either going to be love or friendship, or maybe both in many of your cases. I'm not really sensing family, although it could be here. You know your life better than I do, right? So what I'm feeling is maybe this Gemini and you had a falling out, and that maybe has fractured or affected a friendship circle. And maybe friends of yours are sticking up for Gemini, and other friends are like talking shit about you towards Gemini. And it just might be like this he said, she said, immature, very petty Betty kind of, stirring of the pot elsewhere. So you are aware, maybe this Gemini, because I really feel there's distance here. And if not distance, it's like emotional distance. Or again, it's like a big, freaking Berlin Wall where we might exist in the same city, the same state. We might even work in the same place or go to the same school, but like at the Berlin Wall, it's a totally different experience on the West than it is on the East. So you guys are having very separate experiences. They seem to be, for lack of a better word, kind of living it up. On your side, it seems a little bit more hands-on, dealing with the drama, dealing with the fallout, dealing with any type of, I don't want to say malicious, but just like petty arguments or petty bullshit that people are saying about the context in general. So you have to defend yourself, or maybe you're defending Gemini. If Gemini ghosted you and your friends are being like, why are you even thinking about him or her anymore? You're just like, STFU, this is my business, blah, 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 blah. So you would tell them, oh my God, ever since you left, people have been asking me, everything about you, or they've been questioning me about our relationship, and it's just like I wanted to tell them to mind their own fucking business. So you might want to express that to Gemini, that since the separation, there has been some drama that has flared up, like the fire at the feet of those people has flared up because of this separation, okay? Final part of what you would tell Gemini is the Princess of Cups, aka the Page of Cups. Now, this interestingly came up in the exact same position in the Scorpio reading. You might be a Scorpio. Just mentioning that because of that synchronicity. If you're not a Scorpio, this could still resonate. Anyway, Princess of Cups. So, you know, with this artwork here, it feels very playful. So I think you, in a very similar way, enjoyed the playful connection between you and Gemini. It was fun. It was carefree. It was really invigorating. It was really cute, or you know, puppy dog love. If it was sexual and or romantic, you kind of had like that butterfly feeling in your stomach when you guys were together. But it's a Princess of Cups, meaning it's not mature. So you may not have known this Gemini a long time. Okay, I'm not feeling deep, like, because of everything I said about them. Not a lot of deep roots here. If you've known this Gemini for 15 years, I don't know if this would work for you. So I feel you have an appreciation for what happened, despite the drama and the melancholy feeling that also exists in your life, viewer. Also, sometimes the Princess of Cups is about apologies. Now, if you want to apologize to Gemini, I would rethink that. If you're giving the... let me step back, because I don't want to tell you what to do. But given what I said about Gemini, and if I was in the ballpark of them being self-indulgent and fulfilling their own fantasies and maybe getting you involved in a third-party situation, right? If that is all true, what do you have to apologize for? Just a question. I'm going to leave it at that. So it might involve an apology on your end towards the Gemini. You'll know better than I do what that possibility is, because there's a flower in the dolphin's mouth, and this girl, she's carrying like a basket of whatever fruit. I don't know what it is. Well, maybe it's avocados. Who the hell knows? And so that's an exchange, right? That's a peace offering, right? So maybe that's what you would want. Maybe if you're not giving an apology, maybe you would be expecting one, or you would be hopeful that Gemini would provide you one, okay? Now, in combination, you guys share these two cards here that are stacked on top. So from Gemini to you, it would go Three of Swords to the Princess of Cups. So, like I just said, maybe they, from their sorrowful standpoint with that Three of Swords, recognize that you are the Princess of Cups, viewer. Maybe. And from that standpoint, they might have some remorse and regret. Because again, this person who's there on the clouds, they've got the Three of Swords in their mind, right? So they're thinking about it. They're reflecting upon it, yeah? So while they're off on cloud 9, right? This person, again, just sitting on a cloud, on cloud 9. So while they're out there living their best life, they still think about you. And they remember you. And they remember a lot of the pain that happened at some point in this relationship. And again, reading from here to here, it could be eventually in their mind, they would want to come back and apologize. It's a Princess of Cups. It's very, in terms of the suits, princess, prince, queen, and king, this is the lowest of the court cards. So it's very amateur. It's very amateur and immature. Okay. So if they apologize, go over that thing with a fine-tooth comb is what I would say, because these together are strong. This to this, weak. Okay. What do I mean? This energy combined feels really raw, feels really primal, instinctual, feels very true to the self. This feels like a performance, if I'm honest. How genuine could they be? I'm sorry that I got you involved in the third-party situation. Why would they tell you that? Did they break up with the primary partner? Or did you, if they were your side piece, whatever. Like, why would you come back now and tell me this? Apologize to me. Like, I would, again, fine tooth comb if you're given an apology. All right? You to them, Princess of Cups, to the Three of Swords. What would you tell them? Or what's your side of things in the shared energy? I feel like, viewer, most of you who were in the third party situation, you were the outside person, but you had no idea. Or you found out at like the last minute, or you found out after the fact. They had a boyfriend, they had a girlfriend, they had a wife, they had a husband, whatever. You had no idea, either the entire time or towards the tail end you found out, right? And that dumped you into the deep end. Look at this woman out in the middle of the ocean swimming with this dolphin in the deep end. Not a lake, not a pond, the ocean. So I think you were plunged, or excuse me, you would tell them what has happened between us, or where I am now is I'm in the deep end of my emotions. I'm in this huge ocean of my emotions. And I think you would tell them, I'm not really sure how to feel about what that Three of Swords is. The Page of Cups, or excuse me, Princess Page, same thing, isn't the most experienced. So maybe this is the first time you've fallen hard for somebody. Maybe this is your first time being in a third party situation. Maybe this is the first time someone you fell for betrayed you. Okay? A lot of firsts can happen with the pages or the princesses, yeah? Initiate energy, bushy, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, wet behind the ears, right? Very, in a sense, quote-unquote, clueless, okay? So you would tell them, from your side of things, I was like a lamb in the woods, or a woman out in the middle of the ocean, and I got wrapped up in your storm. I got wrapped up in your drama. I got wrapped up in your sorrow. And again, part of Gemini, this particular Gemini, is they historically do this. Tend to, okay? This is possibly a repeated thing with them. Let me see if I need any clarity here. I think Gemini's side is pretty clear. And I mean, you know your side, but I might clarify on you. Actually, let's clarify the Three of Swords. Why is the Three of Swords here? Let's just figure that out fully. Why is the Three of Swords here on Gemini's side? Show me clarity on Gemini's Three of Swords, please. Oh, we'll take that, because that came out in such a weird way in my hand. It got bunched up. Give me one more on the Three of Swords. Why is the Three of Swords here on Gemini's side? Oh. Maybe we'll get just one. There it goes, the other one. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Gemini themselves, the Lovers, and the Emperor. Listen, it was a third party for many of you, if not all of you, who are going to resonate with this. If it wasn't a third party, okay. And again, I'll give you a caveat, or I'll give you maybe it's another type of third party. It doesn't have to be like third party adulterous affair or cheating. It can be third party interfering relatives, interfering in-laws. It could be third party, I just have this fixation on traveling, and so I don't set up roots. But there's just an invasion of another side to whatever happened. So Lovers card came out, and Emperor. Lovers is major arcana for Gemini, so they're here to clarify their own statement. Yep, there was some significant primary relationship going on with that Three of Swords energy. And then this other clarifier is the Emperor, major arcana for Aries. So you might be the Aries, or their partner might be Aries, but it really doesn't matter. So with Lovers, we have a bond, and we have the choice to bond, the choice to bring together. But the Emperor is a solo figure. The Emperor sits alone, and I like that. Just like in the middle of the desert, but like the sunrise and everything. So it's like this unity and then solo energy. Unity, solo, right? And there's something about having to negotiate that. Oh, that clarifies it right there. I'm like, what is this? This is why I told you up here, some of you didn't know. This Gemini, no offense to Geminis if you're watching, this Gemini led a double life, okay? Part of the week, part of the day, they're wifed up, they're husband up. They got, look at that, unity, a family unit, because there's kids there. If you want to count the lion and the eagle and the snake as being like, you know, household pets, sure. Let's play happy families for part of the day, part of the week, whatever. The traveling. Is this like a traveling thing? Is this, oh my God, is this like a I got another wife in another city kind of shit? Oh my God. And then on the other card, you have someone who's solo dolo, single Pringle, looking very relaxed, very calm, and in control of themselves. Autonomy as well. Because the Emperor, like I said about the King of Cups, is not overly talkative, okay? Is very reserved. Man or woman of mystery sometimes. Allure, but powerful, dynamic, alluring and magnetizing. But always viewed as single. Or at least in the depictions, I'm sorry. In the depictions on the tarot card, more than likely, the Emperor is seen as a single figure. No other person appears on his card. That was the story. So when you were like, oh, add me on Facebook, this person already had a separate Facebook. Like, that made them look like they were single. You find out weeks, months down the line, you have another Facebook that shows your wife and kids. Do we need an oracle card? I don't think we need to clarify anything else. Maybe we do. No, that explains the Five of Wands, because if you're defending it and your friends are like, don't be stupid, there were 2 Facebooks. Listen, I'm not going to do that. Let's see if you guys get or if you guys get an oracle. We'll see. I did one for Scorpio, but I did it based on the feeling. So let's see. Oracle for those who are dealing with Geminis, not in communication with Geminis. An oracle card. Okay. We're going to do guidance. Goddess Guidance by Doreen Virtue. And I don't usually do oracles on my generals, so you guys, I don't know if this is going to become a series, but I'm just doing things all out of my ordinary with this reading, with this. This is not the time to talk to you about my process. Let's get you an oracle card, please. Never mind. Oracle for those who are dealing with, not in communication with Geminis right now. Oracle for those not in communication with Geminis. Last one, thank you. Let's see what you got. Right there? Cool. Lakshmi. Bright future. That's good for those who were kind of in that melancholy, right? And the bottom of her card says, stop worrying, everything will be fine. Lakshmi. These are in alphabetical order, I believe. Yes. Nope, there she goes. Bright future. Stop worrying, everything will be fine. Message from Lakshmi. This is a kind universe, and everyone within it is working in your favor. There are no tests, blocks, or obstacles in your way, except your own projections of fear into the future. Take a moment and hush your mind, quieting it from worries and fears. Feel me brush your brow with a new energy of faith, hope, and optimism. These energies fuel your exciting present time, as well as all future moments. Why would you wish darkness upon yourself when light shines all around you? Step into this brightness by lightening your thoughts and feelings. You must stop worrying as this anxiety squelches the goodness that seeks to find you. Clear your heart of fear and replace those energies with ones that will serve you and your family. Refuse to think of anything except your bright today and tomorrow. I promise you that it shall be so. Okay? So, various meanings to this card. I'll read that section as well. You and your loved ones will be protected and provided for. Let go of any bag lady fears about your future. Hold positive thoughts and intentions. Know that you'll always have your needs met now and in the future. Don't worry about money, but instead visualize abundance. So that's definitely for you, viewer, because I don't think Gemini needs to be emboldened with that type of confidence. I think that they're off doing their own thing right now. And again, if you're cross-watching this and like you're not this type of Gemini, like please, you're excused from class, you know. For those that are dealing with this very deceptive Gemini, I would say, like the card was suggesting, don't worry about it. Especially if they come to you with a sob story, trust in yourself, trust in the future and the abundance that you can have, maybe external to this person. You didn't get any cards really of toxicity, but because there's like this performance piece going on here on their side, I would say if you can stay detached, stay detached. The communication opening up between you, if you want that, pursue it. It's a free will world, but I don't see the value in it. Focus on yourself and your bright future, okay? All right, guys, that's going to conclude this reading. If it resonated with you, again, like button is down there. You can leave comments, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff YouTube allows you to do. I would really, really appreciate it. For this particular reading, for those dealing with Geminis that you're not in communication with, I don't know if and when I would do this reading again, but I hope you enjoyed it just the same. And I really do appreciate you guys taking your time to watch the video tonight. Take care. Bye.